Okay, technical malfunction there. Sorry about that. We'll get this done one way or another. So the Romans also used the arch to its utmost. They didn't invent it. We know we've seen it before. The arch enables large space and maintains structural integrity, admits light, reduces the weight of the walls, and decreases the amount of material needed. They needed that. They had a lot of things to do. Um, Architecture of the High Empire. Examine the architecture development of the Roman explores the luxury. Yeah, we don't care about that. Um, and they have a lot in your book that you can see, but this is the Pantheon in Rome, 118 to 125. And so this is dedicated to the gods. The gods are in a pantheon. You can see it has all these columns, colonnades here. You walk through there to go in, and it's a round building. It looks like this. Here's the interior. This is open even to the day. To this day, this has nothing in there. And here's how it looks like. So this is called a rotunda. We have many rotundas in the United States. We have one in our Capitol building. We have some in our Capitol buildings in our states. Not everyone, but we do. This is a portico. And they had to solve the problem with how to keep this dome up because it could fall right in. So they had the round building, so they had a steep dome, so they made it smaller as it went up. They punched out inside, and this is called coffered ceilings inside, and I'll show you that picture later. And then they opened up the oculus so it wouldn't fall in. They also mixed this material, concrete, with pumice. Pumice is that sponge you get in the shower that you can use on your elbows to and your knees stuff to make them look less dark. And they mix that in there to make it lighter and lighter. And this arch is made by taking this dome is made by taking an arch and pulling it all the way around, doing a 180. Okay, that's the Pantheon. Here you can see above. Oh, that's getting a little digitalized. You can see how big it is compared to these apartments. And here's how it looked. The coffered ceiling was done in gold before, and it had an entranceway, which now you can see in old Christian churches throughout England. You can see this walkway here, just like that. And here's what it looks like today. It's no longer a gold ceiling. People scraped it down to do what they wanted to. It's the ceiling's kind of worn, but they still use it. It's very pretty. Raphael, the famous Italian Renaissance artist, is buried here because originally it was for the Greek gods, and now it was a Christian church. You can visit it. Lots of tourism. That's what keeps it going. And this is called the oculus, the eye to God. Okay. This is the roof of the portico as you walk in. They also invented the equestrian statue. This makes you look taller. So the equestrian statue is a man on a horse, big, tall, powerful looking. These are bronze, so they turn green in sun and stuff like that. And Pompeii is the last thing we'll look at. And evidence of Pompeii is Vesuvius erupts around in 79, around August 24th, and it covers everything immediately. It preserves ordinary Pompeian life, buildings, domestic ornaments. What does that mean? Food, etc. So this is a building, and these are frescoes and paintings, and it saved them so we can see them, and they're in great shape. You can see the images, and this is just a little darker. Same thing. And there are like 3 different types of paintings of frescoes, but we don't have to go through this in a humanities class. Here's how a bedroom would have looked. If you had money, it could be painted. And this is like a fountain on a wall. If you had money, your walls could be painted like everything. They didn't have pictures or canvas or anything. So this is how they did it. This would have been a room for kind of an occult. Pretty cool. I don't remember the cult. It's kind of a spring occult. There are a lot of women in there. This is from the Odyssey, where they called Odysseus Ulysses. And this is the land of Laestrygonians, and they're fighting them. This would have been just a design, as though they were looking outside. This one I don't like very much, but it's a centaur. And this one is called trompe-l'oeil. Like it almost looks like you could reach over and grab a container or one of those buns or something. So it means to fool the eye. This one's weird too. It looks like Pan's up there. Pan the god. And these are mosaics. You can find them all over. They still find ancient mosaics all the time. Here's a huge one. Gigantic one. This is in Pompeii. Pompeii Pompeii is rough to deal with because in most areas what they it was a sex shop, and you find funny things there, and they had lots of hookers, and it's uncomfortable, and you can see things on it on TV if you like. And this I love. I remember this from reading the newspaper when I was a child. They invented the bikini. And here you have later in their time, you have women athletes working out in bikinis. They have weights, they're working out. I still think it's very cool. And that's the end. But remember, still read your book.